And that's what we do first of all, is stop the...
And folks, something interesting is going on the field right now. Michigan tried to plant their flag in the middle of the Ohio State field, and the Buckeyes rushed right to them.
Obviously, people have feelings, and people's feelings get hurt, even if they're called a bad word. I guess his feelings just got hurt.
It all comes down to this, Buckeye Nation. The 2025 National Championship from Atlanta, Georgia, between the Ohio State Buckeyes and the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. So before I begin, I want you guys to hit that like, hit that comment, hit that subscribe. It's all appreciated, and I just want to get into this immediately because I'm super excited, but I need you guys to show the support before I dive into it, and let's get into it, man. So, the stage is set for us. One more win for the ultimate prize, the ultimate goal. Yes, I said the ultimate goal, not beating a rival, even though that's great, but that's not the ultimate goal. And I know that might be a controversial take for college football, but it is the ultimate goal. Regular season, 11-2. A great regular season outside of that last game, which we will not talk about. But the CFP bracket, Tennessee, we dominated them from start to finish, and it was never really a contest. You could argue maybe the third quarter they made a 10-0 run in that third quarter, but that wasn't much of a contest of a game. So then Oregon started fast, and the rest is history. Period. That's all I got to say about that. Just a complete team performance, team first half. Second half, wheels came off a little bit, but it didn't matter. We can afford to lose a little bit of wheels and ground on that lead. But Texas, then, that was the toughest one by far. Grit, defense, so that sealed the deal. Everybody knows we could point to many things. The defense causing havoc on Quinn Ewers. Jack Sawyer not only getting a strip fumble, but recovering the fumble and taking it all the way to the house. Shades of Sam Hubbard against Baltimore. But, man, it's just been a hell of a run. A tough run against really good teams. Even I'll throw Tennessee as a good team. They weren't, I wouldn't say I'm not going to say they didn't deserve to be there just because they got there. So I feel like everybody that gets there, I guess quote unquote deserves to be there. But absolutely killed them from start to finish. And it's just been a hell of a run, and we got to finish it. That's all that matters. Got to finish it. And, we got a good Notre Dame team coming on here. But, I want to talk about just the Notre Dame team itself, though. The regular season bracket, they're 14-1. They've got 13 straight wins following that just shocking loss in week 2 that they had. But their CFP bracket, Indiana, it was a tough battle. They got through it pretty, I don't want to say easily, but it was they pulled away in that second half. And then against Georgia, their defense just stood their ground. And that's one thing that you cannot sleep on if you're the Ohio State Buckeyes. You cannot sleep on Notre Dame's defense. And that Penn State's they're a good team, and beating them for Notre Dame, heck of an achievement. I thought Penn State, they had the game, and then you saw they came back, Notre Dame, when they were down 10-0, and then it was just back and forth. Their quarterbacks, they just went Riley Leonard, he just gutted it out throughout these entire playoffs, but especially that last game. He just showed. And it took a turnover from the defense, of course, to get them in position. But he stayed poised, regardless of the hits he took, the quarterback hits he took. That's one thing that stood out to me when I saw that Notre Dame-Penn State game. So, yeah, it's going to be a tough challenge. I know a lot of people have the Buckeyes routing them, but I still think it's going to be a tough challenge. And beating them, getting off to a good start, that's going to be still crucial because, against a defense like this, you want to just set the tone early. Because they're not going to come out playing around. That they're going to come ready to just attack, and they're going to try to stop Treveyon Henderson. They're going to try to stop Quinshon Judkins. They're going to try to stop Will Howard. But, it's going to come down to how can we attack that and how can we retaliate. Because we got, again, I think that we got, Emi Abuka and Jeremiah Smith are going to be key here. Because if our passing game can get going, I think that we can really, really set the tone. Even for Notre Dame defense that's allowed 14.3 points per game in the entire season. So, and even on the ground, I mean, our defense is ranked number 1 in the country. I have all the confidence in the world against them. Little iffy in the second half and some of the drives against Texas, but you got to know Texas is still, they're a good offense. But their rushing game is 14th in the nation, led by Jeremiah Love, so you're going to have to stop him on the ground as well. It's going to be a tough challenge, but we're ready for it, man. I believe in our guys. But as always, against Texas, I'll always remember this. Jack Sawyer's 83-yard fumble against Texas. The prowess for that team was unbelievable. I mean, a goal line stand in crunch time. Caleb Downs had a game-sealing pick. And the final score, obviously, was 28-14 over the Texas Longhorns. So, great win last week. It was really dicey. I mean, it was 21-14, and they were like a yard away from tying the game. And they do a stupid pitch play to the running back. And then, they get a couple stops. And, Jack Sawyer makes the play of his life. And, just a crushing loss for Texas in the state of Texas as well. Gritty win, and that's what this team needs, man. It's going to take another one of those. I don't know how close this one's going to be. No one knows, because it could be they come out of the gate or they just lay down and then I got to have to collect themselves together, man. But, you don't want to do that against this Notre Dame team. The Fighting Irish, they're a good team, man. And, my thing is my keys to victory. Pretty self-explanatory here. You got to dominate the trenches. The O-line is going to have to mess with Notre Dame's pass rush. They've been doing a great job this year. And, the D-line is going to have to just try to contain the running game and Riley Howard. Like I said, this is the 14th ranked rushing attack in the nation. And that their offensive line, I saw this, that Anthony Knapp, he's out. So that's going to open up some lanes for that defensive line. And the biggest thing is when a team does not have offensive line play and when the other team takes advantage of that offensive line, not only is the quarterback running for his life, but you cannot establish the run. So if we can take advantage of that, that is the key to this game. And test the depth with just fast, physical blitzes, dropping back. Everything needs to just be attack, 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 and we will win this national championship. The Stars, obviously, they're going to have to shine. Jeremiah Smith, he's going to have to win all the matchups he can downfield against their cornerbacks. Jack Sawyer is going to have to continue his amazing playoff run and his just dominant postseason. And what a bounce back from his regular season, which is a little iffy. And then Will Howard. If you watch against that Texas game last week, you see that this dude was making dot after dot after dot. And this dude just was fitting it in the tightest of windows. And that's what I expect against Notre Dame. Regardless of how good their defense is, I think we can figure this defense out and we can come ready to play. It's going to take all of us. It's not going to take a good offensive showing but a bad defensive showing. It's not going to take a good defensive showing without a good offensive showing. So it's going to take all of us, man. It's going to take all of us, and we're ready for it. I believe in our guys. We're going to go into Atlanta pissed off after everybody's counting us out. I know that, we won the last two, so why would they be pissed off? It's because everybody after that Michigan game counted us out in the playoffs. And granted, they deserved it. I'll be the first to tell you they deserve to be counted out after that Michigan game, but they proved everybody wrong, and it's driven them to this point. Michigan woke up a beast in Ohio State. Ever since planting that flag, they woke up a beast. So you just can't wait to see how they finish the job, and if they finish the job, because I'm very hopeful, and I'll be at this game in attendance, so I'll be repping on the boys, and I cannot wait to see how it unfolds, man. But as always, gotta take advantage of the weaknesses, and that's going to be key to victory. And of course, we look at the preview as overall. Ohio State's hungry, they're battle-tested, they're ready to claim that title, and that's why I have all the confidence in the world in them. And then Notre Dame, vice versa. They're resilient, they're disciplined, and they're eager for this upset because I believe Ohio State's an 8-point favorite last time I checked. So only one of these teams are going to be the first ever CFP national champion. So it's going to be either Riley Leonard and the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, or it's going to be Will Howard and the Ohio State Buckeyes. And, you guys know, it's been 10 years since the Buckeyes last won the Natty, which was in the first ever postseason game or postseason format year, and they won the whole thing. Now they have an opportunity to be the first ever 12-team college football playoffs national champion. You can say it has an asterisk, but this is just how the format is. This is how it's going to work, and that is how it's going to unfold. So I can't wait to see how this game unfolds, man. I'm expecting a tough physical game. Not going to be as easy as some people may think for Ohio State, but it's also not going to be easy for Notre Dame. Both these teams are coming ready to play. Both these teams, I mean, they want to prove that they deserve to be here, and I think they both do. They're both of them going through really tough paths. But in the end, as an Ohio State Buckeye fan, I believe in our dudes, and I believe we'll prevail. I'm going to say the final score will be 34-24. Ohio State gets it done for their 9th national title and repeating what happened 10 years ago. Let's go, Bucks. Bring this home for the city of Columbus and for the entire state of Ohio. This is the ultimate prize, and we're going to do it. You guys have a great one. Let's go, Bucks. I'll be back for hopefully a happy video on Tuesday. Go, Bucks. One win away from champions, baby. OHIO.